Now for global business updates, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Vimbai, Rufai, all our viewers. What a week we have in store. Leave me alone. What a week we have in store. Look at what to watch out for this week. It's all about monetary policy, earnings, and non-farm payrolls. So Tuesday, tomorrow, we kick off Visa, Boeing, Spotify will give us their earnings. Three different, completely different enterprises there, different sectors. Wednesday, Microsoft, Meta, Ford. We also hear from Jerome Powell, who is going to be peppered with questions about his future. If they're expected to hold rates on Wednesday, but people are saying we can see a cut in September. Thursday, MasterCard, Apple, Amazon, Shell. Friday, non-farm payrolls. That's jobs for July for the US. Also, PCE is coming out, I think, on Thursday, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, the Fed preferred measure of inflation. The big news, of course, is the trade deal. Everyone's talking about this, which, of course, has been agreed at Trump's Turnberry golf course in Scotland, which is where he made the conflict of interest is too much. He invited over Ursula von der Leyen to his golf course, and they agreed to it. Now, this trade deal has to be ratified, and I think as we speak right now, the bloc is having a meeting. But here's the details. It's 15% on EU goods. He threatened 30%. The EU, I mean, just like Indonesia, Japan, they're going to make investments, they're going to buy things. US energy, 750 billion. Although, to be fair, when they were decoupling from Russia, they were already saying that they were going to buy liquefied natural gas from the US. Going to invest $600 billion. They're going to buy weapons. They didn't state exactly how much, but I think Ukraine is tied to that. Ursula von der Leyen was asked about the 15% tariff, and she said it is still a challenge, but it's better than where we were. And she also acknowledged how big the US market is. Here she is.
15% on the 1st of August. We would have been at 30%. And it would have been much more difficult to get down now to the 15%. 15% is certainly a challenge for some. But we should not forget it keeps us the access to the American market, and what we are also doing intensively is diversifying to other regions of the world. And this opens up new markets, potential new markets. Indonesia, for example, is huge. It's 250 million people.
All right, now there's still some discrepancies. One, von der Leyen said that the 15% tariff is going to apply to pharmaceuticals. Trump didn't say that. He didn't say that is exempt. On semiconductors, they said the US said there will be a further announcement in 2 weeks. Metals, there is still a 50% tariff on aluminum and steel. So that is still there, and they're still trying to sort that out. All right, as far as reactions, it's been mixed. The president of the IFO, this is one of Germany's premier think tanks, the MFO, this is Clemens Fuß, said the trade deal is a humiliation for the EU, but it reflects the imbalance of power. The Europeans need to wake up, focus more on economic strength, and reduce their military and technological dependence on the US. Then they can negotiate. These are all long-term things. I don't know how he expects that to be done in the short term. Also, one of the executive board members of one of the bigger trade unions in Germany also responded as well. This is Wolfgang Niedermark, says an inadequate compromise accepting painful tariffs. A 15% US tariff rate will have a huge negative impact on Germany's export-oriented industry. So, we push on. August 1st is still also a big deal because there are many other countries that are yet to have a trade agreement with the US. I think Scott Bessent is heading to Sweden. Talks with China continue there. Keir Starmer is meeting with Trump later today to still iron out some parts of the trade deal. The UK seems to have gotten off easy since they have a 10% baseline tariff compared to others. Round off with Nigeria. Over the weekend, there was a meeting with the president and Genco's. Yep, you see Tony Elumelu there. You see Chief of Staff Bajami Amila, and then to the right, of course, to him is the Minister of Power, Adilabu. They are looking at floating a bond.
My Kola,
thank you.
Sarah Kola,
for Sarah Energy, yes.
Kola. Very good.
Yeah. The Nigeria is planning on floating a bond. When people keep saying we're borrowing, should be asking what we're borrowing for and why. So that 4 trillion naira debt to the Gencos, a special advisor to the president, Verheyen, said NBET, the bulk electricity trader, has validated about 1.8 trillion. If you remember how the Central Bank of Nigeria cleared those FX backlogs, Governor Olayemi Cardoso and his team had to verify which what was being owed to particular entities before they could clear out that backlog. So that's the same approach that's being put forward here. The president said, hey, listen, you have to give us some time to audit what is being owed, eventually paid off, but a bond is being issued. A quick pop quiz, who wants to answer this? If you're securitizing this debt, you go on a road show, maybe London or the US, to talk to investors. If Dr. Abati or Vimbai or Rufai was a bond investor and Nigeria comes to you and says, hey, well, we're floating this 4 trillion naira bond. Would you invest in it? Well, what do you think the first question a bond investor will ask?
Let me ask the first question.
You know now.
Is it going to involve cost-reflective tariff?
No, how will you get my money back?
How will I get my money
back as a bond investor?
Cost-reflective tariff.
No, you already know. So that is... Oh, there's another really great story.
But you did not report that Ikeja Electric is not giving people lights for over 20 days now.
No, because of it, there's an update that needs to be done.
Is it feasible with the high subsidy they are paying?
Is equipment. Well done. That's my update. There's a great article. Yeah, please, everybody read this. Read this story in today's Day. Energy expert. This is Mr. Abdul Razak Hamzat. He is an energy expert there. He's talking about how you need to decentralize.
Cost-reflective tariff,
And I
but also talk about Ikeja Electric with the band A
It's
payment.
maintenance now.
It's maintenance.
Part of the issue is maintenance.
20 days.
Yeah,
8
it's
to
maintenance.
5.
But have we had a breakdown in the transmission grid since the beginning of the year? Since the last few months, it's been low.
System collapse now. Water now.
It's infrastructure. That's our update.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
On that note, Mr. Cost-reflective tariff advocate, I'm coming to your house when my electricity bill gets too high.